Welcome back to Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Joe here with LBK Design Build. Out here at a whole home remodel, we have our lead carpenter Chris on site. He's turning in what used to be a powder room on the second floor into a guest suite. So working on the shower this week, getting the exhaust fan cut in and vented outside. Tile floor will go in early next week, along with the 2 new replacement windows. And then outside, we have a whole garage addition that's gonna be happening. So everything's kind of marked out in white paint currently, just to get a scale of the size and everything. There'll be a mud room so the client can walk in this section, take off their shoes, boots before entering into the home. Also a garage to be able to go directly into the door into the garage.
We're at the point right now where demolition's almost completed. On the inside, we have a bit of layout changes going on, so some framing's being completed at this point as well. And out back, we got the concrete crew that's finished all the footings and foundation, and they're moving on to block work. Let's go on the inside and take a look around. All right, so as we make our way through the dining room and into the kitchen area, this was always the main kitchen area in the original design. We're gonna keep it that way. This area is mainly for a little table and seating just for daily eating. And then behind me, this original kitchen space is gonna stay that way, but we're gonna make it a much more modern, up-to-date, functioning galley style kitchen. And as we take a look around with the existing framing, for the most part, things are in really great shape, so we're keeping a lot of stuff. We're gonna go ahead and fix some improper framing or things that don't meet today's code. As you notice, there's some studs that are kind of cut or missing. We're gonna fix that as we go along. But for the most part, everything's been cleaned up really well and prepped, so we're ready to move on to the next phase. Welcome to the second floor. This hallway that I'm standing in here used to cut all the way through to the other side, and then that would bring you over to a smaller bedroom and a small hall bath. That layout doesn't work for the existing homeowner, so let me show you around and how we change this layout to make it work better for them. Coming through here, this used to be a closet area. We're now converting it over to the main master bedroom. As we come along here, there's gonna be a closet. As we come along further, this old hallway space was converted over to the new master bathroom. So this whole side of the second floor essentially becomes a master suite, and it's much more accommodating for daily use. So Chris is buttoning up the framing on this portion of the house here. I think right now he's laying out the closet. Chris, what do we got going on here?
Well, I got a partition wall between the bedroom and a walk-in closet, and also a small coat closet inside of it.
Now, is this closet going to be accessed from this side of the room, like in this hallway, or is it going to be on the bedroom side?
There'll be an opening past your doorway here on that far side to walk into a walk-in closet. And it'll be double French doors, I believe, for the small closet in the center.
So that'll be really convenient, like a halfway point between the bedroom and then the bathroom entrance. And then once you're done with that, I heard that we have to do a little bit more structural framing due to an issue that we uncovered during the demolition or post-demolition. If we look above us here, we found out that the floor framing has changed direction in this segment of the house. And because it's a balloon frame house, the load above us is actually sitting on the deck under my feet. So we're gonna have to talk to our engineer and come up with some sort of a solution to figure out how we're gonna span these 2x10 or I think there's a 2x8s or 2x10s, Chris?
2x8s.
So we got 2x8s span over 10 foot. So we're gonna have to address that, and then we're gonna have to address the fact that we need to disperse that load onto point loads that run down to the basement and not on this floor system. All right, Chris, we'll leave you alone so you can get things buttoned up here. We're gonna head onto the outside, check out the masons, see what they're up to out there.
All right, you have a good day.
We'll see you later. So Chris, as I look around the perimeter of the foundation here, I'm noticing these rebar sticking out through the block. What is that in place for?
So it's reinforcement from the footer to the block wall. We drill down, we anchor them in, and then we fill them in solid concrete.
So essentially that keeps the foundation secure down to the footing?
Some shifting over, moving, falling over, stuff like that.
And then what about the open cell block? Are we gonna fill that in, or does that stay kind of the way it is?
No, everything gets filled in for the anchors for the frame.
Sounds good. Well, everything's looking really good. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so we're back outside of our project here, and as you can see behind me, the block masons are working on our detached garage. After they get their few courses of block in and pour the concrete into the block to fill it all up, we'll be ready to move on to framing. And once framing is done, we'll be moving on to sheathing and exterior finishes like siding. And while we're doing that, we're also gonna tear apart the old siding on the house, on the original house. It's just old, it's wood, a lot of it's rotting, and so it needs to be replaced. So stay tuned for updates on the outside of this project.
Welcome back, everyone. Joe here with LBK Design Build, back here in Lawrenceville Township, New Jersey. Kind of back at our kitchen garage addition project. You'll see behind me, we got the garage slab being poured right now. Then they're going to shift focus to the mudroom slab. And then in between the mudroom slab and the garage slab, we'll actually have a deck framed out, kind of like a three-season room. Then on the inside of the house, we currently have all our rough plumbing and electrical going in. As you can see, last time you were here, all we have is the garage slab down. Now we're actually standing in an actual frame garage. Go through this garage door right here on the left-hand side. It'll bring you right into a screened sunroom, which will lead you right into the mudroom after that. Chris on the inside, framing for this new gas fireplace insert. So let's take a look and see what he's got going on. We just finished up all the framing for the porch area that we're actually turning into living space for the inside of the home. We just passed all of our rough inspections, so rough plumbing, mechanical, electrical. Insulation will start this week, and then drywall right after that.
Welcome back to Lawrenceville, New Jersey for a final walkthrough of this home remodel and garage addition project. Let's start around back. So when we started working with our client early on, one of the big asks was parking, specifically a garage. So this home was originally built with no garage, so we went ahead and designed and built a 2-car garage. That also has a really neat space in the middle between the garage and the home itself. So here you can see we have plenty of parking for 2 cars, and as we walk in, we have this really neat intermediate space that serves aside from an entryway. There is a bit of a sunroom space here in the seating area. There's also a side entrance with a ramp, and then off to my left here, more yard and access to the backyard there for grilling. And as we walk into the home, we got kind of like a second foyer in the back of the house. We've got some cabinetry and storage, some bench seating, and then we kind of lead into the home and into the kitchen space here. So once again, early on in design, in discussions with our client, one of the topics was the overall aesthetic and design of the home. The homeowner loves the fact that it's a 100-plus-year-old home, and they wanted to keep the design and function kind of at least, you know, inspired by that era of time. So as we walk through the house, you're going to notice lots of bold colors, lots of moodiness, and that kind of speaks to that era in time, and as well as the homeowner's taste in general. So here we are in the new kitchen. It's a galley style kitchen. This was pretty typical of that time period. Kitchens weren't really large. There weren't really spaces for entertaining. They were more for service. So in this current home and layout, it still works for the homeowner, but we end up with a lot more counter space than what we started with. And we have a bit of a connection to this seating area that's almost like a booth style seating. And you can imagine having guests over, kind of hanging out, having a drink while we're cooking and doing everything in the kitchen side of things. And as you walk through, we come into the dining room, and once again, another moody space. This was always the formal dining room, and it just stayed that. We didn't change the layout and design of this space at all. We just simply updated the finishes and colors. All right, here we are on the second floor. And on this floor, we focused a lot more on the layout of the entire floor because it was a kind of a hodgepodge of small rooms, and it really didn't allow for a good use of the space. So even behind me here, we have a wall. This hallway used to be continuous going through the other side of the house, which ate up a bunch of space. The homeowner didn't really have any use for that. So we went ahead and were able to capture that space and use it for the bathroom. So as we walk through here, this is the new master bedroom. There used to be a dividing wall between these spaces right in the middle along here somewhere. Now that we've taken that out and added structural support, it allows for a full-size master bedroom. We were left over with a little bit of space on this side of the house, which was perfect for a walk-in closet. And then as we go to my right, this leads into now an area that was a small bathroom, and this was part of the hallway. Now we have a full master suite with lots of inspiration pulled from like the 1920s. So really cool space, cool bathroom, and a lot more comfortable to use for the homeowner. So thanks again for joining us on this final walkthrough of this project. Let us know what your favorite parts of the project was in the comments, or if you have any questions, and we'll look to see you on the next one.